guys, Kelly Vivo Cosplay here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I've got a new tutorial for you guys today. Can you guess what it is? I'm going to show you guys how I create my Queen Amidala makeup looks. So hopefully if there's any of you out there planning on cosplaying our beloved queen in the future, this will help you out when you sit down to do this to yourself.
We're going to start off with a primer. I use the Nars Radiance primer, but of course you can use whatever you prefer when doing your makeup and what works best for your skin. Now it's time for some concealer. I use the Tarte Shape Tape. We're going to do the under eyes. We're going to cover any redness and any blemishes might have and blend that out with a makeup sponge. Next, some eyeshadow primer. I use the MAC Prep and Prime, and we're going to cover the eyelids with that and blend that out with the same makeup sponge. Now it's time for some foundation. I use the RCMA foundation in the shade Porcelain, and then I'm also going to be using some of the Mehron setting powder. Now this RCMA foundation is the same foundation that they used in the film. It was specifically formulated for Queen Amidala. So I have a link in the description box down below where you can purchase it. I highly recommend that you use this foundation. It's not cakey, and it's light, and it's great on the face. Once you've applied it all over the face, you're going to make sure you set it with your Mehron setting powder with a powdered puff. Next is time to do some contouring. I'm going to be using my Sultry Palette and my TooFaced Chocolate Soleil bronzer and a contouring brush. We're going to take the shade Slate from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry Palette. We're going to combine that with the Chocolate Soleil matte bronzer to create a little darker, less warm brown shade. And you're just going to go through and contour your face however you would normally contour it when you wear makeup. You definitely want to make sure that you contour your face when you do Queen Amidala so that you don't look so flat, because the white porcelain foundation really just kind of flattens out the face. And trust me, your photos will look better. Now we're going to do some highlighting. I use the Becca Shimmering Skin Highlighter in Pearl and just highlight how you would normally highlight your face. Next up is time for some eyebrows. So I use a very thin angled eyebrow brush, and we're going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown. You're going to take the brush end of the brush and obviously brush down your brow hairs, and then use the thin angled end to fill in the brows. And always remember, when it comes to eyebrows, always sisters, never twins. So if they're not perfectly symmetrical, it's not the end of the world, and it's going to look a little more natural. Next, we're going to take a small fluffy brush and we're going to do our eyeshadow. Again, I'm going to use the Sultry palette. We're going to start with the shade Fresh. We're going to lay this down on the brow bone and into the crease as a very light shade that we can blend the next two shades into. Next, we're going to dip into the shade Twig. I'm going to pack that on the outer eye and blend that up into the crease. And I'm using the same brush for all of the eyeshadow here. And finally, we're going to dip into the shade Dystopian. And we're going to just pack that on the outer corner of the eye to just deepen it a little bit more. Now I'm going to use a fluffy brush to wipe away any fallout that may have occurred on my face. Next up, I'm going to take a thin, small, round smoking brush, and we're going to dip back into the shade Twig, and I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take a small flat round brush and going to dip into the shade Pearl to do some highlighting. I'm going to highlight the brow bone right underneath of the eyebrow and the inner corner of the eye. Next up, eyeliner time. I use the Maybelline Eye Studio Liquid Eyeliner, and we're just going to line right along the lash line. And finally, we're going to take the NYX eyeliner in the shade White, and we're going to line the waterline with that. Mascara. I use the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. Of course, use whatever you prefer. Now it's finally time to do the lips and the dots. So I'm going to go back into that RCMA foundation. I'm going to make sure my lips are fully filled in, and we're going to set them again with that Mehron setting powder. Now I'm going to use a liquid lipstick. I use the Jeffree Star Cosmetics in the shade Redrum, and I use a round tip brush. We're going to dip that into the liquid lip to create the dots. So we're going to line that up with the middle of the iris and from the very top of your nostril. That's where you want the dot on your cheek. Once that's done, I'm going to fill in the upper lip with the liquid lip. And you want to make sure that you don't touch your lips together until this is dry. And then we're going to use that brush again to fill in and make the line. And then I take the liquid lip and I just go back over it to deepen it a little bit. Once everything is completely dry, we're going to go back over it with the Mehron setting powder in the powder puff, wiping away any excess. Last but not least, setting spray time. I use the Morphe setting spray.
And here you have it, guys. This is the completed look. I hope that my little tutorial showing you my makeup process for Queen Amidala helped you out in some way. Remember that you guys don't have to use the exact products that I use. However, I do recommend that you use the foundation since it is the one they used in the original film. But everything else is flexible, and you can use products that you may have already at home that are similar color palettes, or adjust them to your own taste as well. Remember, cosplay is all about having fun and make yourself look the best that you can. So I hope this tutorial helped you out. Remember to like this video and subscribe. If you guys have any questions about anything, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll answer them as best as I can. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!